Striker from 106.3 The Buzz. Finally made my way down to downtown Wichita Falls, Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. We're going to show them around. Also going to donate some stuff. And then Lady K, show us around.
We can, come on, let's go. The coolest thing that people find when we come to the Hall of Fame is the Sportatorium sign. This is the real Sportatorium sign from the world famous Dallas Sportatorium. Doyle King, many people remember him as the announcer from Global Wrestling Federation, still plays on ESPN Classic. He went down when he heard they were tearing it down and got the sign. Won't go into details on how the sign, but we have the sign. It is the real one. You can see a few cracks and things in it. That's why it is in a custom case. But this is the real sign that hang over the entrance door for many years. And you're more than welcome. That's what it's there for.
I'll be honest, it was catching my eye.
Yeah. There you go.
That's awesome.
Now you gotta hit that. You gotta learn that when you hear that, be careful who's in here because all of a sudden we might jump.
Yeah, chair's gonna be grabbed.
Yeah, chairs.
I saw a folding chair.
We do have folding chairs. The other cool piece as you walk right in is right after we opened and announced a 22-year vet from the Air Force who never wrestled professionally but only amateur came in and donated this belt. It is made by Dave Milliken. Many wrestling fans will know that he's the one and the only one that makes the WWE belts and any belts that Vince McMahon has made. He is the #1 belt maker in the world, and his command and wife and family had this made for him. And he came in and presented this to us. Unfortunately, the night before the banquet, he passed away. So that will always be here in a dedication to Billy Green. And then as you come through, we have a multitude of posters designed from every country that you can go through. Of course, our most famous is George the Animal Steele and his famous green tongue. And then we set it up kind of mainly basic for Texas and what Texas is going to remember, because the biggest thing is world class in NWA in this area. So you go through, you not only have Bruiser Brody and Stan Hansen, two of the probably most educated, best wrestlers that you can have in the world today. Stan is a huge supporter of the Hall of Fame, has been, and he will be here in May as well. This again, Chris Adams. Many people know him as the Gentleman Chris Adams. And then also you have Vernon's own Jimmy Weba, but many know him as Skandar Akbar. He was all over the world, and this one is a custom painting by Crimson Stoltz, a local artist. We met her at Art and Soul, talked to her a little bit just about the museum. She came in 2 months later and presented the museum with this custom painting of Skandar Akbar.
I'm gonna need her to make me a Macho Man one.
Is she not awesome?
That is very
She's
badass.
awesome. So then another people in this area that's going to remember, especially the 4-H barn days, Danny Hodge. He is the only man that in the 12-month span, he won a Golden Gloves boxing championship, a silver medal in the Olympics, and then a national championship in amateur on the mat.
Nice.
So he's the only professional wrestler that was ever on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
The more you know.
So then we have more of world class. Of course, our president of the Hall of Fame, which can't be here today, Johnny Mantell. This is his last outfit that he wore. This is one of his promo pictures. And he did wrestle for the last 20 years of his life in real snakeskin cowboy boots with crepe soles. And those leggings are fashioned from jockey leggings, because not many people know, but he also was a thoroughbred racehorse trainer. So, and then we come into the very famous corner, which is the world famous Von Erichs. John was most closest to David, who unfortunately passed away in Japan. That is the real Yellow Rose of Texas jacket, his real boots. John and David spent many times together in the ring, on the road, and that was a major loss for all of wrestling. You also have all the other brothers. Kevin, who is the technically oldest, Carrie, Chris, and Mike. And now today you have Marshall and Ross Von Erich, who are Kevin's two sons, and they are wrestling today. You come around here, Killer Tim Brooks, Dick Murdoch, not many people know, but Farmer Jones, Dick Murdoch, son and father. The Killer Tim Brooks was Dick Murdoch's cousin. Other thing is a little known fact, Killer Tim Brooks is who trained me in 1990 at the age of 17. You turn around and you turn into Bad Street USA for the Fabulous Freebirds. They are also in this Hall of Fame as well as WWE Hall of Fame. Excuse me. We have this out just so you can kind of see these really are worn in 1984 Michael Hayes' tights. I'm not going to say much more about anything else, but these are really his tights. He left them at a young lady's house who donated them nicely to the museum. All the other items were donated by Connie Gordy, who's Terry Gordy's widow. But the Freebirds, you hear a lot of stories about them. I'm going to say probably most of them are going to be true because they were wild, but they were great men. And Michael and Terry or Jimmy Garvin, who just got inducted into the Hall of Fame in WWE, they're still around and they are great guys. Another cool thing is the Missing Link. The Missing Link and Dark Journey, they traveled all over. Not many people realize, but he was 62 in this photograph.
Dang.
He was very well. He wrestled very early on. He started in his early 20s. His real name was Dewey Robinson. That's what he wrestled as. And then he took on the Missing Link, and they went wild with it. Missing Link, he was a great guy. Another thing, when he lived here worked for World Class, he lived in, I think it's called the Blue Bonnet, but it was a nudist colony outside of Decatur. He was a huge, he enjoyed being outdoors.
Living free.
Yeah, so, and our coolest thing is what we call our booking office. In the wrestling world, the booking office is basically where the storylines are told, the matches are made, you get hired, you get fired, the schedules are done. Back in the day when you wrestled 7 to 8 days, or 6 to 7 days a week, you received a booking sheet that told you where you were going, where you had to be, who you had to be with, what was going on. You also had contracts you had to sign, and in every state you had to have a license to wrestle. Nowadays there's only 13 states that require that. But used to, up until the early 90s, every state required you had to have a license to wrestle. That meant there was an athletic commission and there was a doctor at ringside at all times. So this also has, up in New York when they did every year, they did a Hall of Fame, and anybody that came, they had them sign it. So we have autographs here. The coolest piece I find is this is Fritz Von Erich's 1981 desk calendar. Of course, a copy of it. But this is, when you open it, the first thing you would find in it is the thing for because they were an NWA, National Wrestling Alliance thing. The book in here had every name of every territory, the promoter, who the booker was, how to get a hold of them in this book. The next, when you come in here, the pencil drawing, that is his handwriting. That is Fritz's handwriting. The top is the town they were in, and as you see under there, this is the matches that were there that night. You also go through and find doctor's appointments listing. It says Carrie Kevin gone to Japan. Somebody's out for an injury. It has all that. In the red is his secretary's handwriting, and then that is the gate that they made that night. Okay, so when you look at some of these prices and where they had that they made those nights, it's pretty amazing. The most interesting I find is when you come back to Christmas night.
$58,000?
$58,530 on Christmas night in
Wow.
Dallas, Texas, in 1981.
Good job, Texas.
Good job. But you also have to remember during these times, that was the territory period. There was 38 to 41 territories that were running across the United States 6 to 7 nights a week. So take those numbers, multiply them at the least by 38, and see what people were pulling and drawing as opposed to what's being done today in wrestling. So, the other coolest thing about this is Mick Foley's couch. It came from his home. This is him sitting in this spot on his couch. So if you come to the Hall of Fame, you can sit right where Mick Foley sat and be right there just like Mick Foley. See?
Wait, gotta kick my foot up.
You gotta kick your foot
Thumbs
up.
up. Yeah, that's how it's done.
See?
Yeah.
And we're told that he wrote some of the first of the chapters of his very first book, Have a Nice Day, on this couch.
Nice.
Sad
history.
So we walk through, we have several old belts, some bells that are signed. We try to show some of the major NWA champions that you find today. Harley Race, Jerry Zbyszko, you have Ric Flair. Woo! We have Stan Hansen and some others up here. And then of course if you look behind you, that direction, this is our Hall of Fame wall. This is where currently we have 163 plaques. In May there will be 173 plaques. This is where all of the inductees are listed.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna ask?
Okay.
What year did my boy, Macho Man Randy Savage come with? Oh, I'm putting you on the spot. Putting you on the spot.
Okay. Let's just see. Hold on. I know he's gonna be here.
Oh, I know he's in here.
You know that Bronco Nagurski, who went in 2000, same year as Vince McMahon, he is the only one. He is also in the NFL Hall of Fame, Bronco Nagurski.
Huh.
He is the only man that is listed in 2 sports Hall of Fames as opposed to 1 sports Hall of Fame. So, you know what? I don't know that he's been inducted into this Hall of Fame yet.
I saw him on the website.
Is he on this website?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Oh, God. Now, I don't work here. I don't know where he's at. I thought he was in. Hang on. Let me check.
Oh, you know where he's at? Are you standing right in front of him? Is that what you said?
I don't know what I said. I don't know what I said. Stop. Hot. Warm.
Oh, there he is! Yeah, I'm about to say, don't mess with me. I knew he was in here. Oh, yeah, that's the man. See, I'm used to Macho Man tassels. Slim
yes.
Jim in his hand.
Yes.
Tell me to
You gotta
snap.
snap it to a Slim Jim.
Yeah, that's my childhood right there.
There you go.
I ate way more Slim Jims than the human body could probably process.
Wow, and you look good compared to what most people that say that do.
But see, I gotta look like him. I'm trying,
well,
trying to look like him.
There you go.
Gotta get the finger.
You gotta get the finger up and all that. So yes, he was inducted in 2009. His brother Lanny Pospow's been back several times and has, been an announcer for the Hall of Fame and banquets and all that. So they are very, very happy and proud that he was here. He actually did the inductee that year. So, and then when we come through, and we just have all through here, you'll see just little pieces of other legends and people that have been very intricate into the business. You have Jimmy Snuka. You have the grappler Lynn Denton. You have one of the Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair. A lot of people from World Class remember gorgeous Gary Young. There's a gentleman actually that he's a pastor now, but there's a big, heavily played movie on Netflix called The Masked Saint that's by a gentleman by Chris Whaley. This is his outfit. He's actually a pastor now, was a pastor before wrestling, and he wrestled for 12 years. And it's on Netflix now. It's a great movie. The other thing is, this is Mick Foley as Dude Love and Mankind.
Yeah.
This is also the first book, Have a Nice Day. As most people that know Mick know, he writes everything by hand. So each one of these binders, spirals, tablets is a chapter of Have a Nice Day. And that's all the complete manuscript right there.
Did you guys put this cage up because of that one match?
Because of the one match.
Yeah.
Teddy go.
In case you didn't know, there's a match where Mankind.
But we also have
thrown
Cactus
off.
Jack because he is our inductee this year, or one of them. Of course, we have Shawn Michaels.
D-Generation X.
We have Mick Foley. And then we have Susan Green, who is a if anybody doesn't know Susan Green, she actually is one of the ones that it's not in the record books, but she broke Moolah's 27-year title victory. They say that she held it for 27 years. Actually, one night, Susan took it from her, and she got a 1, 2, 3 on her, and they erased that from the title histories. We have some of our older guys, Yvonne Robert, Dirty Dick Raines, but this center section is where we try to put all of our inductees. That's why you see a lot of things out right here, that's what we're still working on, is that. Of course, last year, Stone Cold Steve Austin went in, so we have some of his items. He still tells us that he is planning on coming to get his ring because he was not allowed to come last year due to his shoulder surgery. He's getting his ring. This area is the area we just kind of show the tons of memorabilia and toys that you can get. I mean, it's amazing what type of toys they made. I mean, really. One year in 2015, they even made shoes. You could get canvas Converse with the inductees on them. So there's a company out there that made those for them. I mean, we have the casserole box because it's got The Rock on it. It's amazing what they put wrestling figures on. It really is. But you really can, the belts, masks, just about anything. Just about anything with the little squirters, yep. We've got Macho Man Randy Savage. It was a water squirter. There's no water in it, so you're safe.
Yeah.
So, but, and then, we try to make this interactive and fun for the kids because of course they all come over here and they want to play with the toys or they want to be interactive. So we have several things set up for them as well. Over here we have set up if you want to make your own promo and cut it. We've got your microphone set up, your speakers and everything. John even has a few scripts. If you just don't quite know what you want to say, you can shoot your own promo. We'll film it for you. You can put it on. You can do basically what you want with it. Did you find the toy you wanted?
Oh, I think, is that the sports drink?
Yeah, those are the little juices they used to do. Yeah. Yeah. Did you drink those juices too? With the Slim Jims?
You know what? It was, and then there was those ice cream sandwiches that had the wrestlers
on them.
Yeah, there was a Macho. I would only eat the Macho Man ones though. I'd give my dad the other ones.
Well, that was awful rude.
Well, I mean, it's
okay. Got it.
I mean,
all right, Macho Man.
There was a pack of like 10, and there were 2 Macho Mans in there. So we got 8, and I got 2. So who really? Won out?
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That was mean of Dad. I hope he bought 2 packages. So of course, we've got over here Jeff Jarrett. What's he famous for? Hitting somebody over the head with the guitar. So we have the guitar. That guitar actually was used on Nitro. This is the picture of him using it, and it was Buff Bagwell that he nailed with it. So we've got that. Did you ever get a Slurpee with the Macho Man on it?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I missed out on that.
Just want to make sure.
Nah.
Just trying to make sure you got covered on this.
So
when you come through our first arch, we have our women's area and our midgets. We have our midgets in I want to say the smallest corner. That's kind of rude, but we have the midgets in this. It's only because we have the smallest amount of items for the midgets. There's not many. Because really until Short Sleeve Samson brought back the Midget Wrestling Warriors, there was a time period in there that there weren't midgets. It went from like the 90s to maybe recently in the early 2000s, there was no midget wrestlers that you could find. So you have Diamond Lil, she was trained by Moolah. And then of course you have Short Sleeve Samson. He was here as well as Prince Hakeem. They are Midget Wrestling Warriors. Wrestle a lot up in Canada, but they were here for the Food Truck Challenge and wrestled. I have him on a little step because when he was here, these are his pants. I kind of measured him and this is how tall he is. So we made sure we wanted to make him accurate. So we've got that. Then we come into just some more area of women's. This is actually me. Yes, when you come in, you either get myself most of the time, My daughter, who has been in the business for years, never wrestled, but grew up in the dressing room, or Johnny Mantell, so we can tell you all the stories. This is pictures of my very first match. I was 17. I was a junior in high school. And this is a picture of my very last match in this outfit right here. And you can tell up there I wrestled very first when Killer trained me as Lady K. And if you see, I was wrestling in a mixed tag with midgets. And then later on, I wrestled as Tigress Lords. After I trained Jazz, they turned me a heel, which is a bad guy. And I became Tigress. Many great women wrestlers, before they were called divas and superstars, they really were lady wrestlers. We have Joyce Grable, Wendy Richter. A lot of people know Wendy as with the rock and roll, or was it Rocket Wrestling with Cyndi Lauper. Our custom case here mainly features Fabulous Moolah and Vince, and of course with Vince McMahon and Mae Young. Moolah was one of the greatest, and she held the title for the longest as a women wrestler, and most women will tell you that. The most prominent woman anyone knows in wrestling lately is Chyna. Unfortunately, she died a few months back, but this is a replica actually because she lost all of her real material, but as you can see, this is the replica, same outfit made by the same designer of when she won the Intercontinental Championship from Jeff Jarrett. And then we have a few other photographs and pieces from her. The wedding dress, this was the actual real wedding dress when cousin Elmer married, who did she marry? Joyce Frazier, and this was the real wedding dress they wore. The problem, you see it balled up in the ring, is because the veil on the actual headdress of it goes all the way across the ring and halfway back underneath. That's how large it is. So I can't imagine trying to wear that. Then we really have ring-worn gear all the way around this ring. And the ring is a real ring from 1891. It had to be built in that time period in 4 sections of 8-foot sections apiece. Yeah, you can tell where it's been. We left the aprons off so you can see how it was welded, re-welded, how it was really built, because, and you can't tell by the video, but that's not like a wrestling ring you hear on today. That's a real, like they would wrestle from the 1800s to probably the 1970s. That no cushion, there's not a spring, there's not anything that gives you that bounce. It's not a trampoline. And then we really have things floor to ceiling from all the way back from the 1800s to today. You have Harley Race, you have Bret Hart, you have the Destroyer. Of course, you have Hulk Hogan.
I could have a Macho Man Randy Savage
cake pan.
Oh
yeah.
my! Hey, Mom.
I'm sure you can find that on eBay.
Yeah.
And then you have Andre the Giant, great man. Bruno Sammartino, even greater man. And then every one of our columns that surround the room, floor to ceiling, we have with 8x10s of some of the greatest men and women in wrestling history. You can find every one on there, all the way back again from the early 1800s. Buddy Rogers was married to Fabulous Moolah. I don't know, Bam Bam Bigelow, Andre the Giant. We have them on every column. The other coolest thing I kind of find is Maurice Tillet, who was inducted a few years ago. Not many people kind of really realize it, but Shrek was designed after Maurice Tillet, the French angel, because of the disease he had and how his face and body was built. Shrek was designed after him. Then we have, again, a lot of just older pieces. And this is mainly a special case built for some of our older trophies, older displays. Our older belt, that was from Vermont, 1946. And then, of course, George the Animal Steel got a special corner because he was the one that created up in New York. He was on the very first board of directors, and he's the one that created the categories that we kind of vote in today. So we have our movie wall. Of course, now lately there's a ton of movies that are based or have wrestlers in them. Not many people know, but Henry Winkler did a movie about being a professional wrestler. It's on Netflix. It's pretty comical. This area we are kind of working on. It normally is our kind of political area, but this is going to be, we're recreating this to make this look like a locker room. This will be a locker room where you go in and the guys would get dressed and stuff. This is going to be a recreation in this area. And then again, all the way around, you have Joy the Clown. You have Bam Bam Bigelow. And then we have some of our indies today that are doing, and we're really kind of stretching that out as well. You've got Tim Storm. He's the current NWA champion. You have Jax Dane, the one that he took the belt away from. And then some of the smaller ones from around the area, Ruben Nunez, Catch, Livewire. Those are just some local, but again, wrestling's not just about the ones that are on TV, it's about all of them. Because there's a place in it for all of them, from, you know, all the way down to the first match to the main event. You had to start somewhere. Not everybody started as a main eventer. So then again, you go around, we're back around. A lot of people remember Shane Douglas and Francine from ECW. You've got Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man, the Black Machismo and Jay Lethal.
Okay. The black machismo. Basically the black version of the Macho Man.
Man, Randy Savage.
I'll be honest. When I saw that, it kind of made me mad the first time.
Yeah, but that's and he'll tell you he took his gimmick and basing it off of Randy Savage, the Macho Man. So
I remember you, black machismo.
there you go. So then we go all the way to the corner. We have stuff all the way back from, I mean, we put these down where you can read them. These are from the late 1800s. And then, of course, the fabulous Four Horsemen in the corner. J.J. Dillon comes to our inductions every year. But we have stuff that's signed by pretty much every one of the Four Horsemen. And, of course, then you see him up there with Bruno Sammartino at the Wrestle Reunion in 2005. And then, of course, when they got inducted for WWE, the photo up there with Mike Tyson. And you see in here, we have a lot of cages. Cages go well with wrestling. So we kept the cages. This room used to be the main computer bank for the bank that was here. So we took out some cages, kept the cages that would work. This cage is going to be our military cage. There's so many that men and women that have been in wrestling that either were in the military prior to or after, and so we're going to display and honor them with the military cage. And then because wrestling has to be for 8 to 8, blind and crazy, okay? It has to be for all ages. You have to be able to have everybody come. That's why wrestling, for any time you'll see any wrestling and live wrestling that's helped with by Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, it's gonna be a family show. So we have 2 kids areas. One area where you can come in and create your own matches, or an Erich area. I know he's a little overwrought.
I remember Stone Cold being this
Not that big, yeah. And then our next area, we have also our kids, but over here, this one, a lot of people enjoy it because this is actually amateur match.
Oh my God! You have my toy from my childhood.
Yeah, 2 inches. That's why I was trying to get you over here. So this is 2 inches in his wrestling dummy. Yeah.
I'm so mad I don't have you anymore.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Look at him. He's so cute.
Isn't he cute? I'm so happy that you're enjoying yourself.
This is childhood, right? Because this,
Okay, so this is a mat. So if you want to like roll around, it's 2 inches. This is your, you know.
I'm worried.
Okay, so this guy's name's Hermie.
Oh, and you got the other one too. Ah. Yeah, childhood.
Don't cry, because I see tears. I see tears.
This is childhood right here.
Okay, so who got rid of your childhood?
Mom at a garage sale. Thanks for selling these. I would totally still sleep with these to this day.
Aww.
No matter what girls thought when they would come over. These are still cool.
Macho Man.
So can I?
Yeah, that's what it's here for. That's why we have
I
this
feel like
mat.
I'm gonna pull my shoulder.
We have this mat, but that's why it's here.
I'm scared to jump.
Hey, all right. You dropped an elbow on Macho Man and everybody else. Look at you. 1, 2, 3. All right. So you can also come in here, besides drop an elbow on Hulk Hogan, you can see what a real amateur dummy feels like. If you were going to train for real amateur wrestling,
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
125 pounds, but he's dead weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. We also have a library we're working on that will be open. You can come in and read biographies, look at personal photo albums, read magazines, all that. We also have a research area that we've already had 2 university students come in because they were working on reports and theses from old historian work that we have available to you. And then this is our international area. Again, like I told you earlier, it's kind of in movement now because the Vachons were the family of the year up in Quebec, and so all that stuff has now been returned, so we're working on those displays. A lot of people nowadays, again, Tokyo Monster Kahangas, but he is an Asian culture. He plays the Tokyo Monster gimmick very well. He actually holds one of the NAWA belts now, and that's his outfit and his kendo stick. And used to, when you were in New Japan Wrestling and traveled for Inoki, you had to go for them 3 times and you were given a wrestling suitcase. Not many people got it.
The only Asian wrestler is Giant Baba.
Giant Baba.
Yeah. That's
Antonio Inoki.
That's the only one I know.
You know Tatsumi Fujinami?
That sounds good.
Okay, you need to look that up. He's one of our inductees, and he actually will be here this year. He's coming all the way from Japan to be here, and he doesn't do many signings or anything anymore anywhere. So it's going to be an interesting weekend, the 3rd weekend in May.
Yeah, get out here and body drop some Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
Wrestling
So,
buddies.
and again, I'm not gonna pull it out, but they used to make a sticker, and yes, we have the Macho Man sticker in there. So it's wanted to let you know they used to make a lot of stuff.
And you
Macho
have this
Man.
amazing giant photo
And we have amazing giant photo
of the Macho
of the Macho Man.
of the Macho King.
And can somebody bring over the wonderful donation that we received?
Oh yeah, I'm donating something. This has been in my family's possession since like, let's see, 1987. And my uncle went to a wrestling event back in the day in Illinois, got this amazing finger. My great-grandmother held onto it for years. Sadly, she passed away. I found it when I was cleaning out her house. I decided to keep it. But then I remembered it can live on forever here in Wichita Falls, so I'd like to donate this to
well,
you.
thank you so much. We're going to add it with our Macho Man display. And then in May, we're going to make even bigger display when we hope to have some more pieces of his memorabilia.
Yeah.
So that will be always added, and we'll make sure that your name goes on it so everybody will know that it came from your family.
Yeah.
And thank you, Grandma, for keeping it, and
Yes.
Mom for selling it in the garage sale.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I could have 2 wrestling, but I could have my own Macho Man exhibit in my
Yeah,
house.
you could have.
And then Mom.
But the world would not be able to see it at your house.
That's true.
The world can see everything with wrestling here at the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum.